Greetings and salutations, friends. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new around here, welcome. My name is Nicolas Chae, but today we're doing a pretty exciting video. It's one of my most requested videos every single year, and well, it's gonna be my entire gear collection. As you guys can see, over the past couple of years, I've definitely been shifting out my pieces of equipment to make sure that all the gear in my kit is actually being used, and I get countless comments from you guys asking what camera and lens I use, as well as all the other parts and accessories that I use to make my videos. So without further ado, let's just jump right into it. Now, before this video begins, I do want to make a special announcement because once again, as I look back on the year, there are bits and pieces of gear that I don't actually end up using. To be honest, would probably be more beneficial to one of you guys, so make sure to stick around to the end because I'm actually going to be selling some pieces on my kit, and I would love for one of you guys to have your hands on it and really get out there and start creating. So make sure you guys stick around to the end. Well, right off the bat, one of my most highly commented questions is, what camera do I use? To be honest, this is a camera I've been using for the past 4 to 5 years now for almost every single YouTube video, cinematic project, and for all sorts of client work has been the Sony a7S III, which I'm currently filming on right now. To be honest, when this came out, this truly was a dream camera. It made it perfect for vlogging, commercial work, cinematic work because it had so many great elements, including a flip out screen, 4K, up to 120 frames per second, S-Log 3. And for the past couple of years, it has probably been my favorite camera I've ever used. I can also get some really great photos out of it. And for 95% of all the vlogs you guys have seen, it has been filmed using this camera. Now, paired with this camera, the lens I've been rocking has been, well, you already know, the Sony 16-35 G Master version 2. Now, for anyone who's been trying to get into vlogging, obviously you know that the wider the lens, the more details you're able to capture in your environment. So obviously something like the 16-35 has probably been the most popular lens amongst vloggers. It's lightweight, it's versatile, and that 16mm really gives you a lot of depth and makes it perfect to capture any sort of scenario in, which is why it's been strapped to my camera probably 95% of the time. Now, I recently did get the version 2 model of this lens, and let me tell you that it is an absolute game changer. For something that I'm carrying around every single day, I want it to be light and portable, and this thing just weighs so much less than the previous version. But paired with that lens, pretty much the only other lens I really need to use is going to be this baby right here, Sony G Master 24-70 2.8, also the version 2. And once again, paired with the 16-35 and a 24-70, that pretty much covers all the range you need. And once again, if I had to pick just one lens to travel with, it would probably be this, just because it's so versatile. I can get a wide 24mm and I can also get a nice portrait at 70mm. However, the only downside to both of these lenses is going to be their 2.8 aperture, which is why I've recently picked up the Sony G Master 50mm 1.4. And let me tell you that a 50mm at 1.4, you are getting some extreme bokeh, which is obviously great for low light situations and really to get any sort of portraits. However, this is a really versatile lens for any sort of B-roll shots. That 50mm is right in the middle, so you're never too wide or too close. To be honest, I've been using this lens so much that I hardly use my other B-roll lens, which was the Sony 85mm 1.8. I picked this up very early in my career, and honestly, this was probably my go-to B-roll lens because you're just able to get a really nice focal length at 85mm. The only thing about this lens is that it is a little bit outdated, so this is definitely going to be on my sell list. And lastly, the final lens in my kit is going to be this baby right here, which is a Tamron 28-200. When I saw that spec, I knew I had to pick it up because it's just a versatile focal length, getting up to 200mm, which is really great anytime I'm traveling and I have something super far away. This baby can pretty much zoom all the way in. However, once again, another downside is that it's a variable aperture, basically meaning that the further you zoom in, the higher your aperture is going to have to get. It's not a constant f2.8 aperture like all my other lenses. So once again, this is probably going on my sell list. So as far as my Sony kit, that pretty much wraps up the body and all the lenses I use. This is pretty much my go-to kit anytime I'm vlogging, doing cinematic work, or even getting photos for my Instagram as well. However, there are a lot of times where bringing around this massive chunky camera is pretty inconvenient. And especially now that I've been traveling, I've been really focusing on something more compact and it's a little bit more discreet and easy to carry around on a daily basis. And well, you already know, we had to pick up the Fujifilm X100 Mark VI. Now, yes, I'm sure if you guys have been on the internet over the past couple of years, really, this camera has been blowing up. And to be honest, about a year ago, I actually got my hands on the X100V, which as you guys know, has been massively sold out. And about 6 months after I picked up that camera, they rolled out with the new version. And I love the camera so much that I basically sold the Mark V and immediately upgraded to the Mark VI. And let me tell you that this camera has just been an absolute game changer for me to get back into my love for photography. Once again, the design itself is just so compact, sleek, allows me to really just kind of strap it on my side and bring it around anywhere I'm going to get that perfect street shot. And to be honest, it's just a fun camera to use. Obviously, you have those film simulations, which really just looks so amazing straight out of camera. You're basically getting the film look already baked into the image, so you can go ahead and upload immediately to social media. And honestly, anytime I bring out this camera with my friends, it's just such a fun time. I'm able to capture these iconic moments, and really being able to have these film simulations already built into the camera where you can already see what the final image is going to look like really just makes you want to take more pictures. And probably my favorite part about it is just how customizable you can make it to really make it your own personal camera. But if you guys do want to see more content on the Fuji X100 series, make sure to drop a comment down below, because trust me, I've been using this camera so much and there's a lot more I want to share with you guys, so make sure to drop a comment down below. Now next up, when it comes to my travel photography, obviously the Sony cameras are great to get some quick snapshots, but as someone who's now a professional photographer and starting my own print business, I wanted a camera that could capture higher megapixels, really get the sharpest images. And to be honest, there really isn't any other camera you could go with other than a Leica. Yes, obviously if you're in the community, you understand what a Leica means and just how much historical relevance they have when it comes to cameras. Now this is the Leica Q2, which is a digital model. I actually got it as a graduation gift from my mom when I graduated from Princeton, and let me tell you that this camera has honestly just changed the way that I view photography. For the first time, I truly feel like I have a piece of work in my hands when it comes to making my photographs. And a lot of people ask why you would spend thousands of dollars on a Leica camera, and there truly is a different look and feel when it comes to those images that are coming straight out of the camera. Once you apply your edits, you really get a pop of color, which a lot of people consider the Leica look. And to be honest, you can easily tell when my photos are taken with the Leica versus any other camera, because there's just so much more depth and clarity. And as someone who's now starting a print business, selling my photographs, obviously I needed to make sure I had the highest quality possible, which is why I got the Q2. However, over the past year, they have basically released a Q3 model, which to be honest solves a lot of the pain points I had with this Q2. They've included a new flip out screen, faster autofocus, a better processor, all things which are massively important to my workflow. So as much as I've loved using this camera and the images I've got out of it, I know that it's going to be an investment in my career, which is why this is also going in the sell pile. Now, if you are interested in picking up this Leica Q2, make sure to DM me over on Instagram. It will come with all the original box and accessories. And to be honest, I hate the fact that I have to let it go, but I am excited to start making that upgrade pretty soon. Now, as great as these cameras and lenses are for making these really cinematic vlogs and high quality YouTube videos, well, that's really only half the puzzle. Obviously, the other half comes with your editing, which is where you're really able to shape the story you're trying to tell. One of the best ways I've been able to elevate my content has been through the sponsor of this video, Artlist. Now, you guys have seen me talk about Artlist countless times in the past because it truly is a one-stop shop when it comes to any sort of editing assets you need. Not only do they have some really great music tracks, which I use for so many of my vlogs, but more importantly, they have such a wide array of sound effects, which really helps add that extra dimension to the soundscape of your films and your videos. And they've even made it easier to find the perfect match for any sort of footage you're working with, because they've even got an AI powered search engine, which makes it super easy to find the exact sort of footage or sound effect you're looking for, because you can search by composition, lighting, mood, and get super accurate results. And once again, you don't have to spend hours online searching for that perfect asset for your next piece of content, because you can find them all so easily within Artlist. And if you're really trying to take your content to the next level, they've even got some really great motion templates, which include everything from animations, lower thirds, title screens, graphic assets that would probably take you hours to make on your own. You can literally download and customize them to fit your aesthetic however you want. And to be honest, I've been using them throughout this video for these lower thirds, and I've even been able to make my brand new outro using these assets. So if you guys are looking to level up your content, make sure you guys head to the link in my description and get 2 months of Artlist for free. I hope you guys are locked in, because we still have plenty of gear to go through. Alright, so that about wraps it up for my main kit. Those are all the main pieces of gear I use to create my content, but we still need to dive into some other accessories, as well as other sort of cameras like action cams, 360, drones, etc. But first, I do want to talk about the film cameras I've been using. I've been getting a ton of questions from you guys asking what film cameras I use to take all these film photos, and well, you already know that your boy is a Contax man, and not only do we have the Contax T2, which is a point and shoot and highly regarded as one of the best point and shoot film cameras out there, but we've also got the Contax G1, which to be honest is one of my favorite film cameras I've been able to shoot with. But having a film camera in your arsenal really just allows you to get so much more texture and depth out of your photos. And anytime I travel, I'm always going to be bringing one of these cameras with me, because as great as digital looks, or however hard you try to simulate film, it never really comes out looking like you actually shot it on a film camera. So these have definitely been in my arsenal and something I'm constantly rocking in my kit. Next up, let's go ahead and move over to some action cameras. And lately there have been 2 cameras which I've been absolutely loving. The first one is going to be the Insta360 Ace Pro. To be honest, for any sort of water sport, it's always great to have these waterproof cameras. And one of my favorite features is that it actually has a flip out screen. So if you're really on a budget and you're looking for an all-in-one camera, this could even act as your vlogging cam. But for those times where you want to get a little bit of a unique perspective, well, that's where this baby comes in. The Insta360 X4, and let me tell you that this camera has honestly been, once again, a game changer. Now, I've shot with 360 cameras in the past before, but this one really takes it to a whole nother level. One of of my favorite features is the fact that you can basically just record in a free-form format, which will basically capture videos from both sides of these cameras. And within the app, you can actually change it to a vertical or landscape orientation. So I no longer have to worry about filming in both portrait and landscape because I can basically just choose what I want in post, which makes it great for any sort of activity where I only have one shot. And if I don't know if I'm going to be using it for vertical content or a YouTube video, well, I can get the best of both worlds and reframe it how I want. In addition to that, it's also water resistant, so I've even taken it out on the lake over the summer for my wakeboarding sessions, and it's just a really fun and creative, unique angle that you can't really get with any other sort of camera. So if you've never tried shooting with the 360 camera, I promise once you try it out, it's just going to be an absolute game changer for your arsenal. And once again, this is something that's easily going to be staying in my kit. And lastly, moving on to two new additions to my kit this year, both of which I have been absolutely loving. And well, if you know, you know, and your boy's already on the gang, the DJI Pocket 3 Osmo. And there's just something about this camera that has made vlogging, making content just so much easier, more portable, and more user-friendly. Because literally with the flick of a switch, the camera is ready to go. You've got a 3-axis motorized gimbal. But for the couple of trips I've taken it on so far, I've been wildly impressed. Not only because of the fact that you can shoot and log and grade your footage, which makes it just look so much closer to the actual cameras I'm using, but the fact that you have this motorized gimbal, which just immediately stabilizes all your footage. It has just become so much easier to walk and talk while you're vlogging because, well, DJI has pretty much thought of everything and also included this DJI mic. So anytime I'm traveling and I want to do a little bit of walking and talking, it really is as simple as just facing the camera towards you and talking into the mic, and you're able to get some pretty good quality footage and audio. So once again, there will be a more detailed review, but let me know if you guys have any other questions about the DJI Pocket 3 down below. And lastly, let's go ahead and move over to the other accessories, which really make it impossible for me to film my videos without. And first up is obviously going to be your audio. Now, one of the biggest things I'll tell beginner creators is that your video doesn't matter as much as your audio, because people can sit through a decent video with great audio quality, but if your video looks great and your audio sounds like trash, well, nobody's gonna watch it. Now, obviously, when it comes to content creation, you want something that's portable and easy to use, and there have been a couple of different systems I've been trying over the past couple of months, and let me go ahead and break them down. So first up is going to be your traditional shotgun microphone. This is something that you can basically plug into the top of your camera, and this is perfect for any sort of vlogging because you're able to get some really crisp audio straight in front of the camera. But with this baby right here, the Sony ECM B1M, I think is what it's called, it basically has a digital interface which you can lock onto the top of your Sony camera, so you no longer have to use a wired connection, and it's immediately going to start rolling that audio. It has just made it so much more convenient because I don't have to worry about plugging in a cable every time I'm breaking down my kit. And to be honest, I've been loving this digital interface so much that I even have these wireless mics, which is actually what I'm using right now to record this audio. It comes in this really nice traveling case, and you got 2 receivers as well as the part that goes into your camera. But once again, these are just great lavalier microphones. Anytime you're doing any sort of content where you're going to be a little farther from the camera, the range that you're able to get with these small lavaliers just makes it so convenient. And once again, once you plug in this wireless lav, you're getting some really great audio. However, if you don't have a Sony system, you can also pick up something like the Rode Wireless Go's. These are your traditional cable receivers. Once again, just really easy and affordable options if you're looking to get that lavalier content. And lastly, these are just the pieces of gear that make making YouTube videos a little bit easier. And obviously, it's going to be something like a tripod. This has actually been sent over to me from the people over at Manfrotto, which is absolutely crazy because obviously Manfrotto is the top of the game when it comes to any sort of tripods. This one right here is a Manfrotto B-Free in the carbon fiber, and let me tell you that the weight of this thing is just so easy to travel with. It's so compact and portable because it basically folds up into this very easy and compact package, but basically these are just super easy to extend and release. And the great thing about this tripod is that it actually comes with a fluid head. And to be honest, if you've been using something like a photo tripod, I definitely recommend trying to pick up a fluid head for it. It just allows you to get some really nice pans and tilts and other movements that you can't get with a stationary photo tripod. And to be honest, a nice pan or a nice tilt just really gives you a lot more dynamic movement in your videos. So once again, this Manfrotto B-Free tripod is just such an essential part of my collection. So if you guys are interested to check this one out, make sure to check out the link in my description down below. And lastly is going to be our monitor. This baby right here is the Shimbal ZO Memory 1 Pro. And to be honest, having a monitor is just so crucial for any sort of YouTube video, so you can make sure that your framing, your shot looks good. You don't have to rely on this tiny screen that I'm filming on right now. And especially if you're using it for more cinema level productions, you can even use it to include custom LUTs, wavelengths, all those sorts of things. And to be honest, I just love this clean aluminum look. Well, folks, that's going to wrap it up for this year's gear collection. Once again, there have been a couple pieces that have been swapped out from my previous videos. So if there's anything anything new or that you guys have questions on, make sure to drop them in the comments down below. You guys can also find links to every single product I mentioned in the description down below. But if you stuck around to the end of the video, there are a couple of pieces that I am looking to sell, and once again, I'd rather one of you guys have it to start making better content. So the official gear list for sale is going to be, yes, your boy is officially selling the Sony a7S III, the camera I talked about so much during this video. As much as I loved it over the past couple of years, it is time for your boy to upgrade. So once again, that body is for sale. In addition to that, we're also going to be throwing in Tamron 28-200 versatile lens, but once again, I just need something with a constant aperture. The Sony 85mm 1.8 is also up for sale. If you're looking for a B-roll portrait lens, you really can't beat this one right here for the price. The Sony ZV-1 Mark II. If you guys haven't seen my videos on this, I definitely recommend checking them out because this is an all-in-one content camera, pretty much start your entire career out with. So once again, this will also be up for sale. If you guys are interested to pick up any of these items, shoot me a message over on Instagram at Nicolas Chae. I'll be checking my DMs to see who's interested. So once again, make sure you guys act quick and message me over there. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. But if you did, don't forget to drop a like down below. If you guys haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on your post notifications. I promise you, your boy is coming up with some fire content over the next couple of weeks. So make sure to stay tuned for those upcoming vlogs, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.